How you doing, YouTube? Matt Nassa Beer Reviews. Back with new brewery time. New breweries time. A little collab action. In the form of Trace Brewing and Two Locals Brewing. This is their local Traces. Yeah, this is a DDH pale lager. So you're talking about a DDH dry hopped pale lager. One of the cooler cans I've seen. I mean, the whole thing. Even the hand portion of the show is great. But then when you get to that kind of separation where they throw everything on there, I love waves for separation. I've used them multiple times in what I do. I do graphic design, by the way. Yeah, my job for a corporation, so it's not like I do a ton of cool stuff. But yeah, I dig this can quite a bit. This actually comes from Tavour. They sent me off a box of beer on spec. And yeah, this is a pale lager dry hopped with Hallertau, Mittelfer, Grungeist, Citra, and Azacca hop, 5.2% alcohol by volume. Like I said, it's a collab between Trace and Two Locals. It was brewed and packaged by Trace Brewing, and they're out of Pittsburgh. And this was made for the Barrel and Flow Fest. Now, on the bottom of this, it says Two Dope Boys. I don't know what kind of date coding that is. So I have no idea how old this is. But what I do know, and give a shout out to Michael Tavila, who's designed this can. Your ish don't stink, brother. This is the Barrel and Flow Fest 2021. I looked it up. I'm staring at it right now. It happened, or it was supposed to happen. I don't know if it actually happened. Who knows? September 11th, 2021. So it is the 27th. So you're talking about 26 days ago. I'm assuming this was canned relatively fresh to the fest. So, well, let's call it a month old. Let's put it that way. So we'll see what's what. Yeah, I'm kind of excited for this. This can art. This is one of those times where can art has me kind of all like hot and bothered, thinking the beer is going to be fantastic because the can art is so bang. You know, you're talking about an extra hopped lager too, so you're talking my language, my speed. Here we go. Love the can. I'm gonna put the can up there. That's how much I love it. Beer wise, I mean, not gonna lie to you, I get this as a blind beer. I can call it 19 different things. But it makes sense that it's a dry hop lager because it has this soft little particulate haze going on, soft little carbonation, 3/4 of pinky finger, white as white could be head. I mean, it looks all the part of what a lager would look like if you dry hopped it. You know, beaming with brightness. Let's get a nose. Not a gigantic nose here. Now you'd be like, okay, no shit, Sherlock. Dry hop lager. What are you expecting? It's 5.2. A lot of hops going on in this. Not big aromatically. Let's put it that way. It does have this nice kind of soft citrus note to it. Nothing too aggressive. There's a nice sweetness to it. I can't even sit here and say it's very much lager vibes on this beer. It smells clean. Smells crisp. Smells drinkable. Smells more like, you know, kind of just a base lager with a little bit of aggressive hopping as opposed to a DDH level. Whatever that means. Kind of hopping. So let's dive in. Cheers. That's really tasty. It is. It's really well made. There's nothing negative about this beer. Off flavor, drinks like a lager, expresses itself with an extra hop character. I kind of thought it was going to be a little bit more kind of rip-roaring Americanized version of a lager because it'll hold DDH moniker to it. But it's more kind of like an Italian, like an Italian Pilsner kind of thing going on here, as opposed to just a super aggressive dry hop lager. You know, in that it's just an extra hopped kind of like lager pils, as opposed to something super Americanized. That's where that kind of terminology and naming kind of gets a little bit kind of, I don't want to say like, excuse me, kind of like out in left field when they talk about these things on a beer. Like, you're separate Italian Pilsner from a DDH lager. I don't know if there is a separation in that. But based off of can design, this is preconceived notion on this dude's part. Based off of can design, based off of what was written on the can as far as hopping, because there's a uber traditional, you got your Hallertau, and then you got your, what is it, Grungeist, but then you're talking about Citra and Azacca. But then you look at this label that's super new school, like super slick, kind of awesome labeling. Breweries I never heard of before. Trace logo looks very new school. You know, the Two Locals looks very old school. I guess it kind of makes sense in the end. Because it is a very old school beer with a dash of very much new school. It's epically tasty. It's not me. It's weird because I'm kind of like talking in I don't want to say negative way, but in more of a kind of apologetic kind of way. Like, oh, I'm sorry, it's not the beer that I assumed it would be, which is the totally wrong way to go about these kind of things. It just, with everything's going on, I had this little preconceived notion in my brain, and what I'm left with is, how do I put this? So, if you gave me a black or a plain can with black lettering on it, and it was a collaboration between a German brewery and a new school brewery, I'd be like, this tastes exactly like a collab between those two people, because it has this really uber traditional kind of old school lager, kind of simple workman-like kind of construction to it, with a dollop of new school hopping and aggressiveness in a very beautiful way. That it's more, I should be more excited about this beer. I just went into it with a little bit different mindset that I should totally not go into when I'm reviewing any beer. Label threw me. Label had me all hot and bothered. What did the kids say? Label had me. What did the kids say? God damn it! I want to think of it. Not spooked. I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, this is fantastic beer. Fantastic beer, and not what I expected, but what I wanted. Let's go that way. It's not the hero I needed. It's the beer I wanted. Yeah. Uber. Super clean, super crisp, old school level, ultra crispy boy level lager in combination. Soft addition. There's a hefty addition of old school in here, hop-wise too, but that nice little soft addition of new school, bringing together a super drinkable beer. Let's put it this way. If I went to Barrel and Flow Fest, which I assume is in Pittsburgh, in 2021 on September 11th, I would have gotten this, and I probably would have went back to this and drank this quite a bit throughout the brewery. That's kind of my MO when I go to beer festivals. Not that I go to a ton of them, but it's usually like, okay, I'll end up gravitating towards one low ABV crusher and go drink some stuff. Drink the crusher. Go drink some stuff. Come back to the crusher. That kind of thing. This is probably up there. There you go. Let's talk about it. It's one of the better lagers I've had as of late. Yes, up there, towards the top. Deserving of Mount Rushmore status. I've just had so many of them that it's hard to put 19 faces on Mount Rushmore, so it's deserving. Let's put it that way. Value and availability on this thing, no idea. If you purchase this off of Tavour, let me know more specifically. If you purchase this locally, because I don't know if this actually hit the streets. They're talking about Barrel and Flow Fest. I don't know if this is something that was just available at the festival. I don't know if it was a virtual festival with COVID and stuff like that. I don't know. So if you paid for this on the street, at the brewery, Tavour, whatever, please let me know. I want to know price point differences. There you go. That's what you get. Massive Beers, if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massif, if you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a little bit of hoppy chuggers right now. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers.